I need to tell you something about public pools. Something that nobody talks about. Something that happened 3 summers ago. That still makes me check over my shoulder. Every time I'm near water. The ordinary details matter. When everything goes wrong. I was 17. A lifeguard at Riverside Community Pool. $9 an hour. Built in the 80s. Faded blue paint. A diving board that creaked. We closed at 8 on weekdays. 9 on weekends. That Thursday, my shift was 5 to 9. The other lifeguard called in sick at 6:30. By 7:45, only 3 people remained. A woman doing laps. An older man on the steps. And then, there was this guy. He showed up at 7:15, 45 minutes before closing. Who does that? He never got in the water, never sat down, just paced, back and forth, one into the other, wearing navy blue trunks, a white tank top he never took off. I watched him through my sunglasses, even though the sun was already setting. By 8:30, I was alone with him. Derek went to the bank. 20 minutes, he said. I kept him in my peripheral vision. He'd stopped pacing, standing perfectly still at the deep end, staring into the water, not blinking. The silence was oppressive, just the filtration system humming, and nothing else. I glanced over. He was watching me now, not the water anymore. Me. Pool's closing in 15 minutes, I said. He didn't respond, didn't move. I went inside the equipment room, thinking maybe he'd leave if I wasn't watching. The room had a window facing the pool. I pretended to organize supplies, but I was really just watching him. Through the dusty window, he started walking again, toward the equipment room, toward me. My phone was in the office. The emergency phone's cord had been cut months ago, never replaced. He was getting closer. I backed up until I hit the wall. My hand closed around a pool skimmer pole. Then he did something that made my blood run cold. He walked right up to the door and pressed his face against the window. We were separated by 3 inches of door and window. I could see every detail. Then he spoke. I know this pool. I used to come here when I was a kid. Do you know what happened in the deep end? In 1992. I couldn't answer. My throat had closed up. A boy drowned. They said it was an accident. But I was here that day. I saw what really happened. I saw who held him under. This was insane. I gripped the pole tighter, ready to swing. They never found out the truth. But I know. I've always known. And now I come back sometimes. To remember. To watch. To wait. He tilted his head. Are you a good swimmer? That question snapped something in me. I yelled at him to leave. Threatened to call the police. He stepped back from the door slowly. The pool remembers everything, he said. Every person who's ever been under its surface. Every secret held beneath the water. You should know that. Then he turned and walked toward the diving board. He climbed the ladder, still wearing his tank top. Everything. Walked to the end of the board. He stood there, perfectly still, looking down into the dark water below. The pool lights hadn't turned on yet. The deep end was just a black void. I thought he was going to jump, but he didn't. He just stood there, on the edge of the board, balanced on his toes, swaying slightly. I couldn't look away. Time felt strange, stretched out. Then the automatic pool lights clicked on, flooding the water with that artificial blue glow. The sudden brightness made me blink, and in that fraction of a second, he disappeared. One moment he was there. The next, the board was empty. The whole pool area was empty. I burst out of the equipment room, looking everywhere. The changing rooms, behind the concession stand, the fence line. Nothing. No wet footprints leading away. No ripples in the water. No sound of a gate closing. He was just gone, as if he'd never been there at all. Derek came back, found me standing there, breathing hard, still holding the skimmer pole like a weapon. He pulled out an old binder. Incident reports. Newspaper clippings. From the pool's history. He flipped through pages, until he found it. A yellowed newspaper article. From August 1992. Local boy drowns at Riverside pool. But it was the photo. A school picture. A smiling kid, maybe 12 years old, with a small scar, visible above his left eyebrow. Michael Torres, the drowning victim. They'd kept records of serious incidents. This drowning had been ruled accidental, but there were rumors that other kids had been involved. That maybe it wasn't so accidental after all. Those rumors were never proven. Eventually, people stopped talking about it. I stared at the picture of the 12-year-old boy with the scar above his eyebrow. The same scar I'd seen on the face pressed against the equipment room window. He'd be in his 40s now, if he'd lived. I quit the next day. Didn't even go back for my last paycheck. I heard later that summer, there were more incidents. Other lifeguards. About a man in a white tank top who would show up right before closing. One guard said he asked her if she was a good swimmer. Another saw him on the diving board one evening, and when he went to tell him to get down, the board was empty. The pool shut down for renovations that fall. Didn't reopen until the following summer. They replaced the old diving board, repainted everything. The weird sightings stopped after the renovations. But I heard something else. During the renovation, when they drained the pool completely, for the first time in decades, they found something. At the bottom of the deep end, scratches in the concrete. Deep ones, like someone had been clawing at the bottom, trying to get out. I don't go to public pools anymore. I know how irrational that sounds. Coincidence, suggestion, overactive imagination. But I can't shake the memory of that face pressed against the glass. The way he vanished into thin air. The scratches they found at the bottom. And sometimes, late at night, I still hear his question echoing. Are you a good swimmer? I don't go to public pools anymore. I know how irrational that sounds. Coincidence, suggestion, overactive imagination. But I can't shake the memory of that face pressed against the glass. The way he vanished into thin air. The scratches they found at the bottom. And sometimes, late at night, I still hear his question echoing. Are you a good swimmer?